this scooter right here by Metamove, this is the Pro. They did a phenomenal job. What I want to do is I want to go over all the ins and outs as far as like the functions and the features. So I'm going to be talking about it, but I have my gloves on because it is cold outside, but it is still so much fun to ride this thing. This is the one that has dual motors. So it has a motor on the front wheel and the back wheel. Well, let's just jump into everything. So starting up here at the top, how it works is, by the way, you can move these up and down, adjusting them to whatever, preference it is that you like. Right here, this is the voltage. When you turn it on, it might be flashing just because of like the camera, how it picks it up, but it's not flashing, I promise, in real life. That's showing you the voltage. And when you do turn it on, you're going to want to turn that on, and then you hold down the power button here. And then when you turn it off, you turn this off, and then you turn that off. But you have brakes. Now, these aren't just like any normal brakes. What I mean by that is these are actually hydraulic brakes. They're not just mechanical, they're hydraulic. So when you're actually looking at the disc brakes, come over here. On both of the wheels, you have disc brakes. It makes it so much better. They cool down a lot better, and then the actual brakes themselves are hydraulic, and they can stop you on a dime. Both front and back, incredible brakes. So I love that. You can easily adjust the brakes right here. See this screw right here? If you screw that in, you can tighten it up. You can do it on both, so you can also tighten it up down there. A lot of ways to customize that. You can also customize, like, this actual handle itself. If you want it a little bit more down or up, you just loosen these 4 screws right here on the front. You can twist that. So that can be done. This is your actual screen. Now let's see. It's daytime. Let's see if you'll be able to see it. You can see the gear. So the gear, just like in a car, if you go 1, 2, 3, the higher the gear, the faster you can go. You can change that by doing the mode. You see kilometers per hour. You can see your odometer. You can see the time that you've been riding. You can see your battery power. Works very, very well. You can also adjust that by using these 4 screws, so you can adjust it more at you or a little bit further away. And then you have these buttons right here. What these will do is make you go from eco mode if you're wanting to be able to really get that really far battery, which, because of the size of this thing, you can be in turbo mode and still get a phenomenal length as far as how far you can go. But you can go from eco or turbo, and then since there are 2 motors, you can switch between just doing the rear or you doing both. And you're going to do that by doing the red button. And man, when you have both, this thing has so much giddy up, so much power. I love it. Sun's looking at me. I'm putting my glasses back on. But some other things that you can do are, you can also adjust this. So if you want this a little bit more further down, say like because your thumb's maybe more down here, you can easily put this further down or up. So you can adjust that. And then the height. What you can do, so this one's in the middle right here. What you would do is you push this button down right here, and then you're able to be able to make this go higher or lower, and then you're able to completely lock it in place with this quick release. So you got that. You have these lights. Now, I'm going to show you what they look like at night, but you can aim these down, or you can kind of aim them up, which is really nice. Has a horn, and let me tell you, this horn has some power to it. It's so loud. People will know that you're coming. You'll also be able to make sure that people, that they're aware of what's going on. So the horn's right there. You got the 2 lights. You have the mud flap, not just on the front, also on the back, which you have 2 shocks. You have a coil shock right here in the front, which can absorb a lot of wear and tear. And then you have that exact same coil shock all the way in the back. So by having that, you're having dual suspension on the front and the back, and it's really going to be able to make this a very, very smooth ride. The actual tread on the tires right here, very durable. So I love that. I already showed you guys the brakes that just stop on a dime, which I love. The battery's right here, and it has some weight to it, but because this thing itself is pretty dang heavy, but because the amount of giddy up that it has, the torque, the acceleration, you're not even going to feel that. But what's nice about it is, because it is heavy, it has that low center of gravity, which is going to make it more stable at high speeds, which I really like. You also have lights, which I'll show you these at night, but you can show left and right turn signals, which is really nice. One thing that I really like about it right here is how it's curved right here. When you're actually riding and you're going really fast, you can put your foot like this if you really want to be able to have that traction so that you're not slipping back. I really like that. I think it's really comfortable. And then another thing is the charge ports on this side. There are 2 charge ports. So you'll be able to have 2 batteries, like 2, chargers going at one time, charging that right there. So you just unplug those, plug them in. And then other than that, you can also, if you ever need to be able to travel with this thing, if you see the install video of this, you're going to pop this down. You can flip this whole thing down, and then you can just pick it up like this. Now, you got to have some strength to you, but you can pick it up and you can transport it, which is really nice. Anyway, let's get riding this thing because it is so much fun. Check what this thing looks like at night. It looks incredible. So you got full 360 vision with lights all around. You got LEDs on this side as well as on this side. And on the back, you got red lights that are always on, engaged. And when you actually use the brakes up top, it turns on the second light on both sides, which is really nice. And check out what these blinkers look like. Let me start this real quick, okay? So blinkers are like that. And then on the other side, you got this sweet blue looking. So obviously that's what it's gonna look like when you do it on either of them. And then on the front, you got these lights which look amazing. You can adjust them up and down very easily. They put out a lot of light. And then also it's very easy to be able to see these guys at night, showing you all your data that you need. Ready to rock and roll. When you unpack your MetaMove e-scooter, this is what it's gonna look like. It's gonna be collapsed like this. You're gonna have the seat, keys, charger. There's 2 chargers, and I'll be explaining that later. But it also comes with the tool set that you need. Also, this is a tool set that you're probably gonna keep. It's actually a really nice one. So the first step that you need to do is you need to make sure that this goes all the way up. So how you're gonna do that is come over here, and you're gonna see this metal piece right here, this silver metal piece. What you do is you're gonna push down on it like that, and then you're gonna lift up on this, and it will pull up. And then what you do is you're gonna lift up on it, and it's gonna lock into place. Right there, you heard a little tiny click. That's where you're there gonna put the kickstand down, just so that it's not gonna fall over. And then what you're gonna do is this red handle right here. So it's already locked in place, but to be able to make sure that it's really not gonna be wiggling at all, is you lift this piece up, and you're gonna push all the way to right there. And now it is locked in place, ready to rock and roll. We're gonna move to the next step. All right, so the next is you're gonna be grabbing this handlebar, and you're gonna grab it. It's gonna be kind of dangling down like this. You're gonna grab it, flip it upside down, and then what's gonna happen is that's gonna put the cord here in the front, and then this piece right here, you're gonna put it over this, and you don't want it to fall down. You want it to stay right here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put it on. You're gonna make it level with that right there. And then the tool piece that it came with, you're gonna grab this Allen wrench, and you're gonna twist it on until it's snug enough that you can really make sure that it's not gonna be going anywhere. But one thing you do want to do before you totally tighten it down is you wanna make sure that it's in a line with your scooter. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get your scooter wheel aligned with your scooter, and it's very easy when you're looking over because you can see this black piece and red piece. So you wanna make sure that it's nice and aligned, and then you're going to align the steering wheel, or not steering wheel, the handle with it. So loosen that, make sure that everything's aligned. So it's aligned there at the bottom, and then I'm gonna line it here at the top, just looking over it, and you'll be able to eyeball this when you're doing it. It's very easy to adjust if you think you have it a little bit off, and then you're gonna tighten both ends down. All right, so then next is this piece right here. This is your digital piece that's gonna be showing you kilometers per hour, your odometer, everything right here. Now it might come kind of like that. What you're gonna do is you're gonna put it into position, put it back, and then you're gonna tighten these 4 screws down. Now these 2 is what's gonna be able to tighten it to the actual rod itself, and then these 2 are holding it to here. So just use this right here. Having it straight, you can spin a little bit quicker, and you're just gonna spin it down until they're nice and snug, and then this will not be going anywhere while you're riding or rattling. You do it to all 4, and that's what's already snug, and you're done. There will be a plastic protective piece right here. You're gonna peel this off. This part right here is what's showing you your voltage of your battery. So when it comes, you're gonna have your turning signals here on the back, kind of just dangling down. What you're gonna do is you're gonna push it through the hole right there, and you want this piece, kind of the transparent, facing back, because that's gonna be the part that lights up people to let people know that you're turning. And then this nut right here is gonna be kind of just floating around on the string, on the, the wire. You're gonna grab it, you're gonna tighten it down. You wanna make sure that it's nice and tight. You can easily grab a wrench to do this, but you want to make sure that that's facing that way. This is tight. We're also gonna do it to the other side, and then you'll be done with the taillights. You're gonna be putting the seat on next, and what you're gonna do for that is you don't wanna put this on first. You wanna first make sure that this is locked into place. Now, this plate is what's holding it down to the battery, and like where you're gonna be standing. So you're gonna go like this, and you're gonna think it's not going in right. There is this little metal piece right over here that you need to push in. That lets it fall in. And then right here, what you're gonna do is you're gonna lift this part up, you're gonna unscrew it to whatever length that you need to be able to get it on. You gotta keep kind of just testing where it is, because every single one's gonna be different when it comes to you. About right there, and then you're gonna tighten it down and push down right there. There we go, and it's locked into place where this is solid. And then what you do next is grab your seat. You're gonna open this quick release right here. You're gonna put it in. You're gonna find whatever is preference for your own height when you're sitting on it, but then you're gonna make sure that this is tight. You're gonna spin it around right there, close it down, and now your seat is ready to rock and roll. Comes with 2 batteries. Got one right here, another one in the box. And what you do is you have 2 ports right here because you have 2 of the batteries, as far as, 2 batteries and then 2 motors. It has a little tiny slit right there, and you're going to want to align it just right here. It will go in, and then you obviously plug it into your port. You'll be charging, and that's everything. Now, this plate you can remove. It's optional because that's your seat. If you want it just as a standing, you're just going to unscrew these 4 right here and then put them back in just so you don't lose it, or you could just not, whatever you want. But I like to put them back in so you don't lose it, but it's as simple as that. Other than that, you are all done.